Hello, welcome to this your channel of the Beta Eurofan. Text me. Cyprus keeps loyal to its participation in the competition, in which it has been having relatively good results, although it finds it difficult to place in the first positions of the ranking. The last proof of that was the energetic proposal presented by Celia Capsis during last year's contest that, while it was pretty well presented, she only managed to get a modest 15th place. For the moment, it is still trying, hoping to get the key to improve the last result and possibly achieve their first victory. For this, we will see that the next artist that had to took the baton from her by representing the Mediterranean island in Basel. Let's go! For today's episode, I'm going to review the Cyprus entry for Eurovision 2025, which has been represented by the singer Theo Evan with the song Shh. Don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you to shut up, it is the song's title. Although he will not want to tell you who is he or which secret he might have, here I'm going to tell you more about the multifaceted artist that is making his way onto the European musical scene. Having said that, let's move on with the review. As usual, we start by reviewing his biography and career before him embarking in his Eurovision adventure. Evangelos Theodorou, mostly well known as Theo Evan, is a Cypriot singer, songwriter, dancer and actor coming from the country's capital, Nicosia. This is quite relevant due to the fact that it is the first time in many years that Cyprus has been represented by a Cypriot-born artist. Additionally, the Mediterranean country has selected two Greek artists that naturally are quite known in the Cypriot musical scene and sometimes two foreign artists with a Greek Cypriot descent. He gets involved with performing arts since very early age by attending to dancing and classes and singing in the children's choir of his school, starting to sing from the age of 7, making incursions in songwriting during his teenage years, and participating in several plays and talent shows in his native country, with which he has gained some awards and acknowledgements for his talent and dedication. After finishing his high school studies, he will move to Boston, United States to pursue studies in music and performance at the prestigious Berklee College of Music, which he later graduated with honors. His time at the Musical Academy has impacted so much that he usually attends as a special guest and honorary orator in subsequent graduation ceremonies. Shortly after still being in the American country, he will move to Los Angeles with the intention to start his musical career from there. Then he releases his first official single as a musical artist in 2021, and the following year he will have an appearance in the second season of the American series Euphoria. Although his stay will not last much longer after these experiences, as he will later decide to get back to Cyprus to continue his musical career from there. Musically speaking, Theo mentions to artists like Michael Jackson and Stromae among his musical influences, while his personal style blends Mediterranean pop with electronic music, R&B, reggaeton and dembow, with lyrics that initially were about very suggestive topics, although more recently he has been exploring rawer and darker topics, combining both English and Greek, and that are supported by a lot of dancing. Still being an emerging artist, and even without having a studio album in the Greek Cypriot musical market, it has to be said that he has a very complete profile, so maybe it will be a matter of time to get much more notice in the musical industry. In the other hand, Theo has stated to be a huge fan of Eurovision since he was a kid, and in fact, having the chance to participate for his country at the contest has been a dream come true for him. Let's see that how his Eurovision adventure begins with further detail. In July of last year, the Cypriot broadcaster revealed that the selection of the next Cypriot representative was in full swing, implying in this case that they will be opting once again for an internal selection. For that, the broadcaster appointed an expert panel composed by music professionals and Eurovision experts to do the task, making a special focus on selecting artists that were born or resident in Cyprus. Sometime later in late August of last year, some Greek media started to rumor that the selection of not only the artist but also the song would have been already done by the Cypriot broadcaster, although keeping the decade strictly in secret. It will be in early September of last year when they announced the selection of Theo as the representative that would have the ticket to Basel, being the first artist officially revealed for the edition, although we will have to wait several months until knowing both the song and its accompanying official music video that will be released in last mid-March. A track with a lot of mystery and secret. Now it is time to analyze in further detail about this proposal which he has attended the contest. The melody is a techno track with influences of industrial music, while the vocal skills from Theo, which has moderately high registers, although not too powerful, are acceptable without nothing else to stand out, also appreciating the use of synthesized voices throughout the track. Regarding the lyrics, that has been written fully in English, although he was not directly involved in the composition of the track in comparison with other tracks of his musical repertoire. It comes to attention that the group of songwriters he has, as all of them stand out. In one hand, there's the renowned Greek songwriter and producer Dimitris Kontopoulos, who has a wide experience on composing entries for the contest for many countries. Then there is the Dutch songwriter Elke Thiel, who was already involved as a songwriter for Cyprus last year with the song Liar performed by Silja Kapsis during the edition held in Malmö, Sweden. Later there is the Norwegian singer and songwriter Elsa Sulesvik, mostly well known as Elsie Bay, who participated 2 times at Melody Grand Prix, the well-known Norwegian national final, although more recently she has been more focused to exploit her facet as a songwriter for other artists who want to attend the contest, from songwriting camps to specific proposals. And finally, there are Norwegian songwriter Les Neiman and Swedish songwriter Linda Dale that are widely known for being 2 of the authors of the song The Call performed by Nemo, winning song of the last edition as we already know. And additionally, in the case of Linda, she was also involved in the composition of the song Queen of Kings performed by Alexandra for Norway in 2023 during the edition held in Liverpool, United Kingdom. About the context behind the lyrics, it is stated that it talks about our self-confidence and by accepting ourselves with our virtues and imperfections, establishing through that sort of secret dialogue with the listener by adding some mystery and complicity. Reading it with further detail, however, I feel it more like a narcissist story, or at least this is my impression, not as in the case in the onomatopoeia heard through further tracks, such as some wish to keep his identity in secret, especially during the chorus. Although it is contradictory, he states initially that he is already famous for some of his characteristics or attributes. If you are a celebrity for some reason, it is very difficult to go unnoticed then. I do not have the feeling that the track is transmitting a particular message, despite reading the lyrics carefully, and I say it because the fact that the contest intendedly to be described with the lyrics does not match. If anyone have an idea of what this song could mean, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. Having seen more about the song, let's see now how he is presenting it through the official music video. Before that, it is interesting to remark that the music video has a connection with the Cypriot entry from the last edition, and it is because the plot of both entries are developed in the same hotel. While Celia was at the hotel pool area, the lobby and the restaurant will be fundamentally in one of the rooms. The plot begins then with Theo being precisely in one of the rooms, sitting on a tea table with a person totally dressed in black with the face fully covered, playing a sort of game with a board in that tea table. In some moment, Theo gets up and leaves the room, starting to run by the corridor and trying to open any of the other room doors. It is not clear initially for what. While the masked person moves the board of the sides, making Theo stumble while running by the corridor, implying that the game they are playing on the board is connected to Theo in real life. It reminds me a little the plot of the movie Jumanji, in fact. In the first chorus, Theo finds an open door which leads to an area place with many max people that are staring motionless to a big black cube located close to them. Theo moves over all of them to let them start dancing, noticing that they are making a triangle with one of the vertices pointing to the cube, as it could be seen in the shots from above. With the second verse, it is seen that Theo goes back again to the room he was at the beginning to resume the game with the max person from before. The game somehow becomes a sort of contemporary dance that simulates a fight between them, with Theo winning that fight in a way, then later grabbing one of the pieces from the board, which is casually a black cube, to rush once again out of the room and get back to the same area place from before, although this time the group of max people are chasing after him until they surround him. It is seen, for instance, that Theo tries to escape from all of them, but suddenly they all get apart, with one of them whispering something in the ear to Theo, and shortly after, during the instrumental bridge, he is now in front of the black cube while he was the board piece in his hand, but later in another shot it is seen that the black cube is now in flames and Theo has a use match in his hand, maybe implying that he started the fire of the black cube. During the final chorus, the shots are focused on Theo resuming the performance while the cube is little by little reducing to ashes, until it finishes with the max person taking off the max to reveal that it's Theo himself, with the structure of the black cube collapsing due to the fire. Taking into account that Theo was one of the few artists at the audition that did not participate in any of the Eurovision pre-parties of the season, there were not many clues on how his proposal would look like, having to wait until the contest to see it on first hand. For the staging in Basel, it could be seen during the first rehearsals that Theo will be joined by full male dancers, using additionally a couple of props with which they will intend to simulate to the Vitruvian Man by Leonardo da Vinci. Both Theo and the male dancers will wear casual outfits fully in black, the lighting is presented in white and red tones, and it is remarkable the absence of visual graphics. Watching his live performance in the first semi-final, being in charge of closing it by the way, it begins with Theo and two of the male dancers holding on the props recreating the Vitruvian Man during the first phrases of the first verse, until the other two dancers join them, thereafter moving through the props. It is quite noticeable the extensive use of the props at the bottom of the stage, placing it in different ways throughout all the performance while Theo performs the track, while both him and the male dancers move throughout the props in many ways. During the second chorus, it is seen a short choreography from them, and shortly after, Theo moves for a few instants to the front of the stage, seeing him bouncing his body from the side while leaving traces of himself, which are added with visual effects of course. Getting back to the bottom of the stage for the final chorus, standing in the middle of the two prongs that now became one, finishing the performance from there. I have expected a little more appealing and interesting performance judging to what was seen previously with the rehearsals, but as I quite normal, it has not been a presentation that got much of my attention, to be honest. I have seen it incomprehensible at some point, and later the vocal performance from Theo was regular. There were parts during the performance where he did not sing the right notes. Personally, I did not have any expectations on qualification, taking into account the presentation of the proposal, although I could not discard the fact that he could receive some buzz enough to make it to the grand final, and at the end of the night he was almost close to make it. The voting results will place him 11 in the semi-final, with him missing, however, one of the 10 spots for the grand final. Making a summary of all the comments, the Cyprus entry for this year did not convince me at all. Despite the profile from Theo, which is quite complete, it is for me one of these proposals in which there is no connecting thread among the different parts of the proposal. I do not understand the song, I do not understand what he showed with the music video, and I could not understand neither what he presented on stage. I'm sure that I'm not the only one who thinks the same, and it is quite probably with a dislike of cohesion with the proposal, ended up playing against Theo, which has resulted in his disqualification alternately. The final result has represented a flaw for the Mediterranean island, which breaks the qualification streak they have been achieving from the last 2 years. About Theo, he has moved forward with his musical career by releasing some singles after his participation at the contest, one of them together with the Greek singer Demi, who was the Greek representative in 2017 during the edition held in Kiev, Ukraine, that probably will take part of what it will be his debut studio album without a scheduled release date yet. This has been the Cyprus proposal of this year for the contest. What do you think in your case? Does it leave you indifferent like me, or was it among your favorites instead? Let me know in the comments down below so we can keep the discussion. And this is it for today's episode. Before I finish, I invite you to like this video if it has been of your taste. With this, I can keep receiving your support for this content to reach to more people. Subscribe to my channel, enable notifications by the bell, and find me through my social media. Take care and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.